And I think we're live. I haven't used the setup in a little while, so please let me know you can hear me or whatever else. Abuse me is usually what happens. Happy Friday. If the background noise is too much, let me know, because I do have the window open because it's really hot. And yeah, let's see how this goes. We are going to try some Svelte today, which is going to be something very new for me. I'm a die-hard React fan. I've been using React for 6-7 years now. 6 at least, since version 0, whenever React came out, basically, I've been using it. So I haven't been tempted by something like Vue because I didn't see it as solving a different problem. And with Svelte, people are telling me it's good, and there's lots of benefits to using it, like less code, less other things, and it's just more intuitive. So I'm really looking forward to having a look around. I've not even really looked at the docs. I looked at the docs like maybe a year or so ago for maybe 5 minutes. So I have no clue what I'm getting into. I have no clue if I'll even get it set up and running today, but that's part of the fun of learning something new. I was going to call the stream Coding with COVID, since I am still just about recovered from COVID. Tomorrow I'm allowed to leave the house again, so I think I'm healthy, I hope. But if I start coughing, you'll know I'm probably just dying. And somebody call the emergency services. So yeah, how is everyone doing? Let me get traditional Dundalk Bay Brewery I'm trying today. So a Maibach from Dundalk. Let's see if that'll go into focus. There you go. We'll see if that goes into focus. And yeah, as always, hoping everyone has a beer out there as well. This looks good. Cheers. I hope not. That's all. It's all on the stream now at the moment to hopefully keep me alive while I do this. Or I'll just fake my death when I start feeling really stupid when I'm trying this stuff. So all right, at least you have something that's doing damage to your health. That's the only thing. I like to make sure that people are worse off when they leave this stream. That's the main thing. All right, let's jump over and start seeing what we can play with. Let's have a look. Thank you, sir. How is the new job going? Enjoying it? Pulled all your hair out yet? Now, let's pump up my screen here. Let's put the boom. Okay, I have the Svelte search here. So I'm guessing svelte.dev is where I go. So let's zoom in here, just so everyone can see this. Can everyone see this? Okay, so the tutorial is probably what I'm going to go through. Maybe have a little look at the docs before I even do that, just to see how that goes. Write less code. Okay, that's what I assumed. Build boilerplate free components using languages you already know. Aha, bold of you to assume I know JavaScript, Svelte. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. no virtual DOM, and your code to tiny frameworkless vanilla JavaScript. Your app starts fast and stays fast. Truly reactive, no more complex state management libraries. Svelte brings reactivity to JavaScript itself. Interesting. Let's see how this goes. Svelte is a radical new approach to building interfaces. Yada yada. That's the sales pitch. This is what you need to run, I guess, or extract the zip file, cd my Svelte project. All right. Oh, it has a little sandbox here. So let's take a look. So we have a script up here. Hold on, what are we seeing here? Oh, yes, of course, that's the fun part. Why would you use technology to alleviate your pain? It's all right, you'll be able to automate everyone's job soon enough. Praveen, you're like 12 years old. There's no way you're losing hair yet. If you are, that's awful. I'll lend you some of my beard hair. All right, let's take a look. Let's see where this goes. So Svelte components are built on top of HTML. Just add data. We have world. So I can just put any variable in here. Count equals 4. And can I just put another count in here? Okay, yeah. Okay, nice. Styling, that's something I didn't think about with this stuff. So you can go import nested. Okay, don't affect this element. These styles. Okay, so the nesting of this doesn't affect this. So it's scope styles, I guess. When you import these things, they're left alone. That's interesting. Because I've been playing with some React app actually the last few days, and some of the scoping of the styles has actually been very annoying. You can go SvelteKit route, which is kind of like create React app. I think let's try to get SvelteKit up and running by the end of it, since it's up on this list here, because I want to have a little play around with all the section here. Okay, so we have CSS. Nice. So this is nearly like what I was doing there. So what? On, colon, click, handle click. Here's my handle click, which is just adding plus equals 1. So no need to use state as I'm used to or anything. Interesting. Click count. Oh yeah, that's cool. Time times. Oh, nice. That's pretty slick. Where's that coming from? Oh, Svelte transition. Nice. That's a nice little animation. And that's coming from Svelte itself. That's pretty interesting. All right. Let's get started. Where do we go? The tutorial start, I guess. Welcome to the Svelte tutorial. This will teach you everything you need to build fast, small, blah, blah, whatever. Let's jump in. What is this? What is Svelte? Svelte is a tool for building fast web applications. It is similar to JavaScript frameworks such as React and Vue, which share a goal of making it easy to build slick, interactive user interfaces. Nice. Svelte converts your app into JavaScript at build time rather than interpreting your application at runtime. It means you don't pay the performance cost of the framework extractions, and you don't incur a penalty when your app first loads. You can build your entire app with Svelte, or you can add it incrementally to code base. Okay, so I'm just shipping JavaScript, which is awesome in fairness. Okay, I have the familiarities and things. Each chapter will show me a button that you can click if you get stuck. Understanding components. A Svelte application is composed of one or more components. written into a .svelte file. The hello world example in the code editor is a simple component. Okay, so app.svelte. So we have to name our component Svelte. Nice. Let's do this. A component that just renders some static markup is fun. So add a script tag. Let's just copy and paste that because I am lazy. And then when I replace this, well, I've seen this in action already, so that's not too exciting. But I guess yeah, so it's working as expected. It's showing the variables in the template there. Oh, okay, yeah. So I can use just JavaScript inside here as well. So I always forget the second C here. Nice. Tutorial image. Our image is missing source. Let's add one. Source equals source. Ah, and he rickrolled me. Okay, we can add the alt. What is this output? So if I inspect this, oh cool, yeah, okay, so I see my alt tag and everything. I just like to check that these things are actually working as they're telling me they're working. Oh, this is cool. So shorthand attributes. I can just do this. So it's just like the object. Nice. I like that. That's pretty neat. So I can just say source equals source like this. Just like as if I was assigning it to an object. And nice. So if I take this out and say let alt equal, I should be able to just say alright, let's just inspect that to make sure it's still there. Yeah, nice. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm wondering what it uses. I guess it has to be a shadow DOM or something that's previewing it, but we'll have a look. Maybe it's rendering really fast, but I guess on big applications that might not be so good, so I'm not really sure. Okay. So I can shorthand things, source, alt, next. So I just put a style tag, just like I had a script tag above. So I can still I just like to play around with this. I know this isn't something part of this, but let's just play around with it anyway. I just want to make sure. Okay, yeah, okay, so the styles affected generated stuff as well. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Let's... Actually, I'm going to bump this up. I'm sure you're sick of seeing my face for a minute. Okay, let's see. We have that. Okay, so we have a second item here. Okay, so we need to import this in the script. So we've this, and then this just looks like a React component, basically. I'm sorry if you don't know React, but that's what I know. So okay, this is another paragraph. This is another paragraph. So the styles don't get affected. We've seen that in the home page, that nested is nested. So if I add here and I say red, cool. Okay, so we can have two different P's there. Good question, Kishore. I have just started with this. I've not been up to date with Svelte, so right now I have no idea what's being used or what's being built in Svelte. Because this is genuinely my first time ever looking at it, so I haven't been up to date with it. Maybe somebody else in the chat knows a little bit more than me, and they can tell you something. Okay, let's go to next. Okay, so I can say add HTML to a string. This is like dangerously adding. Okay, yeah. This string contains some strong HTML. Whereas if you use this feature, it's critical that you don't manually escape HTML. It comes from sources that you don't trust. Otherwise, you risk exposing your users to XSS attacks. Okay, so this is the same as dangerously use HTML. Did I miss the joke? The Lord J. Tonkin just arrived. What joke? What JK did I miss? Is it me attempting to use this? Building wearable devices, OS apps, etc. Network Times is all. Oh, the New York Times. I think the guy who made this works in the New York Times. I think that's some of the reason he made it, isn't it? Okay, this tutorial is learning from writing components, but at some point you'll want to start writing components and come from your own text editor. You'll need to integrate the Svelte build tool to our officially. Blah blah. So don't worry if you're new to web development. Blah blah. You'll see. Once you've okay, so this is just saying do it by yourself, basically. Oh, but it's then just letting me. Oh, I see some good answers on this already. Hey, do you think there is a reason to expect developers to learn multiple frameworks in parallel, or is specialization more beneficial? React versus Svelte. So I'm always a big fan of just learning whatever gets you paid. So my first job, I had to learn like 3 frameworks straight away. I learned React, Reactive, and Reactive. One of those frameworks I learned was because I thought Reactive and Reactive were the exact same thing. But yeah, it's sometimes you just have to learn. Sometimes you just have to learn things for the job, I guess. But if you can master one, it's very easy to pick up another one because a lot of the same paradigms, especially with front end now, they're mostly trying to solve the same problem. So I think if you learn one properly, you're probably best off. I think most people know more than me at this one. In fairness, I've just avoided. I've been so ignorant to this Svelte stuff. Yeah, learn one, you can learn them all. That's kind of where I was looking. Yeah, you were a coward and you cut your beard to look less homeless, I guess. That's all it is. I've heard a couple of people mention Solid.js, so I'll be interested in trying that as well. Anyway, back to the game here. Okay, so let's try. Okay, this isn't working yet, so I need to put in the on click thingy. Very similar to reacting. We can then put in increment count. And I can just say count plus equals 1. That easy. I like that. That's pretty solid. Depression beard. You've had that beard a long time, Jay, so that says a lot. Unfortunately, I should be laughing, but I will. All right. We've done that. Okay, Svelte up automatically updates the DOM. Okay, so for multiple pieces of state, I guess, working together, we have reactive declarations. If this looks a little alien, it does. This is the first time I'm kind of already been like, huh, what's going on here? Don't worry if this looks a little alien. It's valid if unconventional job script, which Svelte interprets to rerun the code whenever reference values change. Okay, so I do $: doubled is equal to something else. So when I need to watch the state from other state, I guess. Yeah. I doubled. Okay, nice. Of course, you could just write this in the markup instead. You don't have to use reactive values. Reactive values become particularly valuable when you need to reference multiple times, or you have values that depend on other reactive values. Yeah, okay. So this is just stuff that's to make things neat. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Mark did a great intro on this for me. I really need to start looking under the hood code of some of these things. I definitely could be better at my inner knowledge of these things. I just accept that they work, and I'm a happy idiot like that. We're not limited to declaring reactive values. We can also run arbitrary statements reactively. For example, we can log the value of count whenever it changes. Huh, oh, I like that. So I can just bind. I can just bind that. Yeah, that's interesting. I can see that being very useful. You just end up putting it in your render or pre-return in your React components just to see console logs and everything. So that's very clean. I like that. And you can group things together in a block. Look at this. So you can scope it. Okay, boom. That's pretty nice. If statements in here as well. This is pretty cool. Okay, let's see. Count is dangerously high. That's pretty cool. I like that. Remembering this syntax for me is going to be a difficult thing, but I guess it's like anything. If you play with it long enough, it's easy. Because Svelte's reactivity is triggered by assignments, using array methods like push and splice won't automatically cause updates. For example, clicking the button doesn't do anything. Huh. Okay, so we need to do it functionally. We need to make a new array each time and reassign it. Okay, so you have to reassign so basically if it was a const and you're updating it, you need to re-reference it. So that's why they're using lets instead of consts, I guess, because you have to actually reassign things. That makes sense, because I was wondering why they had lets instead of consts out of the gate. Okay, so you need to update things. This is going to be confusing, I think, to start. But who knows? Let's take a look. Hey, Payush. I apologize if I've butchered your name. Let me know. So far, we've discussed internal status, state values that to the application. You pass data from one component to its children that you need to declare properly, generally shortened to props themselves to be export keyword. And a nested Svelte component. The answer is so I have to export. Okay, so I just export a variable and I have access to the variable. Interesting. But the syntax is so weird. It's been so long since I've learned a new front-end framework or something that this is really throwing me, that just the little changes in syntax. Okay, so we just add default export equals 42, and then if I get rid of this, answer equals nice. Okay, that's pretty easy. So you just, those exported variables can get a default value, so that if you don't put something in, you get something. Okay, so I can just go that's very useful for just grouping together the packages. What happens, can I, like if I export this because it's an object, I wonder will it notice if I update these things? All right, so we use templates in the HTML to use ifs, so we don't have logic like conditionals and loops. Svelte does. To conditionally render some markup, we can wrap it in an if block. I'll just copy this whole thing, so I can just go like this, log in, log out, log in, log out. Okay, so that's pretty simple. So it's just an if statement, kind of like mustache templates here. Maybe it's just not quite mustachy. Oh, let me go back. Okay, so we even have if else's. So copy this in and give it a test run. Hash character always indicates an opening tag. / character indicates a block of a closing tag. A colon character, as in else, indicates a block continuing tag. Don't worry, you've learned all the syntax. Svelte adds to HTML. Nice. Okay. Let me play around with this. Then multiple can change. Okay, so we can even put else ifs in there as it. So this is all just about cleaning up stuff. All right, interesting. Okay, so each cat as cat. So that's okay, that's very easy then. Let me clean up this. By default, when you modify the value of each block, it will add and remove items at the end of the block and update any values that change. That might not be what you want. It's easier to show why than to explain. Click the remove first thing button and you'll notice what happens. It removes the first thing component but the last DOM node. When it updates the name value, remaining DOM nodes, but not that emoji. Okay. Instead, we'd like to remove only the first thing component and its DOM node and leave the others unaffected. Okay, so to do that, I'm a little bit confused. I don't really understand what they're trying to say here. To do that, a unique identifier or key for each block. Here, thing ID is the key. Svelte is trying to figure out which DOM. Oh, okay, so this is like why you need a key, is so it knows what element in the DOM to grab. How do I restart this? Let's restart this. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But like React still, even when you don't give it a key, it doesn't behave this badly. So this is why it's a little bit of a head scratcher. But I guess maybe React is adding a key automatically under the hood, just not an optimal one. So if I say thing is thing.name, okay, I'm a little confused. So let's see. Here, thing ID is key. It tells Svelte how to figure out things. Okay, thing as. Okay, I need to add it here. Now it's working as expected. I'm not sure if I totally get this concept. So I'm going to spend a minute here. I know this might be boring for everyone that's watching. No, I understand what you mean by the warning, Praveen. But I mean that I haven't seen React add or act as badly when you don't add a key, not rather than actually adding a key. I know it doesn't do that, but it doesn't behave as weirdly as this does when you don't add a key. So that's why it's just a little bit interesting to me. Oh, he's always a gold mine, actually. I'll have to check it out just to make sure I understand the concepts properly. Hey, Chris. Thanks for jumping in. First thing I need to keep details, figure out which DOM node to change when to update. So remove first thing. Let's things.slice equals things.slice. Okay, so it's reassigning slice.1. Okay, perfect. We can do that. That's fine. Most web applications have to deal with asynchronous data at some point. Svelte makes it easy to wait the value of promise directly in your markup. Oh, cool. Await promise, then number. So if I just say test and test, number is 58. Interesting. So this is like an if block. It's just waiting. Yeah, Sean is a king in fairness. So for anyone that doesn't know any concept, you just go look at one of Sean's videos and you immediately know it. It's great. Failed to generate. That's pretty useful. And the catch error is lovely there. That's super easy. I really like this because I end up a lot of times making kind of like state machines in React to make sure I catch these oddities when I do them. So that's pretty useful. So I can do a mouse move. Event to client, so we can just pass an event handler as well. Nice. Okay, so that's similar enough to React, I think. You can also declare event handlers inline. A string. Oh, I don't know if I like that. So on mouse move. That is very interesting. So return M, which equals that. I don't know if you can hear the music. The only reason I haven't got into Svelte review is I don't have too much on my plate. Else this stuff looks very interesting. Yeah, this is very true. This is why I've avoided it as well. It's just like I haven't needed it, but I've also just been itching to learn something a little bit different. I'm obviously a big fan of front-end development. Yeah, it's always good to see what's coming up there, to see if like this could be a game changer or a fad, like the only way to know is to try these things. Don't forget the case change for the event handlers when you have React. Yeah. I don't know what you mean there. Don't forget the case change for the event handlers when you React versus Svelte. I'm not sure if I get that, Chris, if you want to elaborate. DOM event handlers can have modifiers that alter their behavior. For example, a handler with a once modifier will only run a single time. Oh, nice. This is actually very useful because I've often just wanted to disable things. Okay, yeah. Yeah, like the syntax is always going to throw me a little bit. I still get some of those kind of things wrong in React after 6-7 years of it, so I haven't got much hope for picking this up in the hour that I'm streaming for this evening that I'll remember these things. But I will build a project in it. That's how I'm going to learn this. I'm going to build I'm working on some GraphQL content, and might build the front end in Svelte to be a little bit different. So here are modifiers. Do you know how to do the event once in vanilla JavaScript? I do not. Let me see that. Event once JS. Oh. Okay, so if you don't need to support IE, according to Stack Overflow, which is always scientific, you can use this. That's interesting. Let me zoom in because for anyone that there is a second or an options array you can put after the function, which is pretty cool. Before I get completely sidewinded. Okay, so capture fires the event handler to the capture phase. Once self. And you can chain them together. That's pretty cool. I like that. Components can also dispatch events. To do so, they must create an event dispatcher, update inner Svelte. So, okay, so this is like Redux, is the way I remember this. Or oh no, it says update inner Svelte. Okay, so create event dispatcher must be called when the component is first instantiated. You can't do it later inside, e.g. set time and callback. This is dispatch the component in an instance. So, can somebody tell me why I need this? Create event dispatcher must be called when the component is first instantiated. Can't do it later inside, e.g. set timer. Okay, so it has to happen straight away. This links dispatch to the component instance. Okay, so that links the dispatcher to this component. But why not just use a normal function? I hope it explains that. notice that the app component is listening to the messages on dispatch inner. Okay, so let's follow this through. We're pulling inner in, inner on message, handle message, event.detail.text. Okay, so this is event.detail.text. So this is coming in as an event. Interesting. Yeah, I'm seeing that now. So, but it doesn't just dispatch the message event. What it lets me do is get some information from inside this component, because I can alert the event.detail.text, which is coming from the handle message. So if I pass that down on message, okay. I'm an idiot. Okay, so because okay, so I can have this custom on message thing, and that is the say hello. Okay, and that dispatches the message functionality then. So you can also try changing the event name to something else. Message to my event in inner HTML, change things. So if I change this to Yoda, that means I'd have to say on Yoda. Yes. Okay, so on Yoda, we get this. We dispatch this. And on click, we say hello, but we dispatch the on Yoda. I'm still confused. Why would I need this? You can try changing this. Listening to messages. Well, I guess, okay, so it's just so I can refer to things in there, I guess. This one doesn't make total sense to me, but I'm gonna continue on. I think I'd need to find a real use case for this, for me to kind of grasp the concept properly, because I'm just trying to figure out why I would use this, because it's a little bit confusing. I could just be silly with this though as well. Now, unlike DOM events, components events don't bubble. If you want to listen to an event deeply nested component, pause before the event. Unlike DOM events, components don't bubble. If you want to listen to them deeply before the event. In this case, we have the same app.svelte and inner.svelte. That's the previous chapter, but there's an outer svelte component that contains inner. Way to solve the problem is by adding, so this is like how to share state between things or messages between things, I guess. One way to solve the problem is adding a create event dispatcher to outer, listening for the message event for the handler. So if I dispatch the message event detail, okay, so it's going to pass me out the event detail. Inner on message. Import inner from there, and then inner on message. Okay, this This stuff is a little bit confusing to me. I definitely need to play around with it a bit more. Okay, so this is pulling the message. Here is the message. So I've got that. Say hello. Dispatches this message. Text hello. And then out here, the event details of text. Okay. So on okay, so I'm listening to this. It doesn't matter where it is. I get where what was confusing me here is I'm used to the prop drilling, so it being actually reactive and being able to listen to the message is a total mind fuck to me. But yeah, that's interesting. So you can listen to events from other components. That could be very useful. That's a good example there. Custom events like log in, log out, new message from the server, sent events. Yeah. This could make some pretty fast apps or pretty reactive apps. Okay. I'm going to order some chicken here as well. I'm getting hungry, so I'm going to order some food in as well. Give me 1 second. Okay, getting some chicken. Needs to be done. I have been craving some proper fried chicken for quite a while because of COVID. I haven't even been able to stomach it, so I'm really looking forward to that tonight. All right, let's play with this then. Event forwarding works for DOM events too. We just get notified of the clicks on our custom button to do that. We need to forward click event on the button element in the custom button Svelte. So I need to add the on click, and then I get the event. Okay, yeah, that's cool. So when that event is hit, but if I take that away, it doesn't work. Interesting. Data flow is top down. I'm just grooving out these tunes here. Pretty good. Give me 1 second here. I just need to check something else. I need to check my own address if I'm honest, because I just moved here, so I can't even order food at the house because it's so I haven't learned my address yet. How bad is that? But we'll be fine. Okay, we're good. We are good. Let's see. What's everyone thinking of this Svelte stuff so far, though? I know it's going to take me a little while to jump over the, I suppose, do the mental shift from React to this. So it's tough. It is tough when you're so ingrained in a system. It's like trying to get out of the Catholic Church, I guess, basically, because I've been indoctrined into ReactJS. So it's definitely difficult to get out of that mindset. Now, okay, so as a general rule, data flow is Svelte is top-down. A parent component can set props on a child component, and a component can set attributes on an element, but not the other way around. Okay, so this is a singular flow. This is something. Sometimes it's useful to break that rule. Take that case of the input. We could add an on-input event handler that sets the value of name to event the target of value. But it's a bit boilerplate. It gets even worse with other form elements, as we'll see. Instead, we can use the bind.value directive. So value equals name. Why is that less? But I guess it's just consistently. Oh, okay, because that doesn't work. That's why. So I need to bind the value of the name to the input. I haven't used Vue properly. Obviously I've been taught by Chris Dixon and Mark, who are huge advocates for Vue, but I haven't used it properly, so I don't see the similarities. But yeah, I do know that V syntax, so yeah, I can see that, but I think it's the same as React really as well for certain amounts of things. Inputs type number range, it means you have to record value bind value. Svelte takes care of when you're dealing with numeric inputs, type number, type range, it means you have to remember to coerce the value with bind value. Oh, interesting. So I can just bind value A. Bind value A. Why isn't that working? Type number value A, min, max. Okay. It's not taking care of it. I assumed that this would change this. Okay, that's because I have the values here, so I need to remove these, I guess. Yes. Okay, that makes more sense. Because I had to set the value after I bind the value it was going to break. And I can then bind value B. That's pretty useful. That's nice. I like the way it solves the types for you. Nice. Okay, I can see how that binding is pretty simple and straightforward now. All right. I'm gonna probably give this another 10-minute tops because I'm getting tired. And because I'm just coming back off with the old COVID, I am not going to push myself too hard. If you have multiple inputs relating to the same value, you can use bind group along with the value attribute. Radio inputs in the same group are mutually exclusive checkpoints. Bind group. Okay, so input type radio, bind group scoops. So where is the bind group? Okay, so that's not in here yet anyway. So I need to bind the group to these things. I'm having a great time here just with the music. Okay, so let me get rid of that search because one things. Okay, so if you have multiple inputs, the same thing. In this case, simply removing the checkbox inputs in each group. First add the menu. Do I have? Oh, lovely. Back into Apache Airflow. Lovely. You're having a great time then. Yes, very shortly. All right. I think I'm going to call it quits on this one then, because we combine the group flavors. Nice. Mutually exclusive. We get each flavor. You can't order more than one scoop. This is interesting. I like how the variables are bound, in fairness. I'm trying to figure out, like, how much is left of this? Oh, there's tons. Yeah, I'm going to have to come back to this because there is so much here. And I think I'm just starting to scratch the surface of some of the fun with Svelte. Yeah, I'd love to know what people think of Svelte so far from this little walkthrough. I am on the fence, but it's so new that I think that's what's putting me on the fence. It's just because it's new. It's not that it's bad or anything, or I have no reason to dislike it, basically. But the one thing I am is a React fanboy. So as a result, I'm learning something new. It's uncomfortable. So I need to break through that barrier before I'll give an actual opinion on it. I'm going to build an application with it. I think that's the only way to really try this out. So I think what we'll do is next week we might actually, I'm going to continue to play around with these Svelte docs, and we'll actually try and build something. We might do something like front-end mentor with Svelte, so I get a little bit of a crash course in it. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, the chat, wherever else. Don't forget to jump into the Discord. It's always great fun. You'll have people like Praveen looking after you in there. And until next time, everyone, happy coding. Yeah, and try out Svelte. This is an interesting thing, to say the least. And I'm looking forward to catching up with everyone soon. Peace.